After last year's disappointing 15-12 finish, the Rainbow Wahine welcomed the promise of a brand new season. Depth and experience are the keys for Hawaii in 1993. The Wahine return all 6 starters, and the new lineup includes the inspirational Key Williams and outside hitter Jenny Wilton, 2 players who were sorely missed during last year's campaign. In addition, the Hawaii roster has been reinforced with a list of exciting young talent, including Angelica Lundqvist, a 6'2" middle blocker from Sweden. Tonight, as the season gets underway, the Rainbow Wahine are anxious to re-establish themselves as one of the championship caliber teams in the NCAA.
A 6'2" freshman from Vallentuna, Sweden, number 9, Angelica Lundqvist. A 6-foot sophomore from Cypress, California, number 10, Sarah Chase. A 6'1" senior from Manhattan Beach, California, number 15, Crystal Atwood. A 5'10" junior from Compton, California, number 16, Key Williams. And a 5'8" junior from Columbia Heights, Minnesota, team captain number 4, Carrie Anderson. Trainer Melody Coates, part-time assistant Carrie Major, volunteer assistant Chuck Williams, the associate coach Howard Wallace, and the head coach for the Wahine, Dave Shoji.
We'll be back with the first serve, Hawaii against Brigham Young, right after this. Williams' first serve of the season, and we are underway. BYU against Hawaii. Pia Puta is their setter, and right away, their All-American candidate, Michelle Fellows, second team All-Am, and first team All-WAC, gets the side out for Brigham Young. Serving for Brigham Young is number 3, Virpi Olila. She's from Finland. Good dig in the backcourt, but returned again by Fellows. Excellent serve. Chase able to get the ball up, but right there waiting was Fellows. 1-0 Brigham Young. Olila again to serve. Kenyatta Lovelace, bad pass. 2-0 Brigham Young. Matu'u that time.
Not a good start for the Bows. Dave Shoji very concerned. Remember, said one of the 7-11 keys was, could Hawaii pass the ball? Already they passed the ball to BYU twice.
Olila serving. Chase bumps it to Anderson. Kenyatta Lovelace. That is long, and that's a point for Brigham Young. So BYU quickly out to a 3-0 lead. Brigham Young last year able to reel off 28 victories in a row. Olila again serves. Bad pass from the back row by number 10, and that is Sarah Chase. And the Wahines are really tight. They're behind 4-0.
Talk about home jitters. Hawaii has a case of the home jitters are trying so hard right now. Not a very tough serve. They haven't passed it yet.
Key Williams. Not a particularly good pass. Carrie Anderson did all she could on that particular set. Williams gets the side back. Kenyatta Lovelace will serve now for the Rainbow Wahine. They trail 4-0. Matu'u blocked. And Key Williams trying to keep it alive. Lundqvist, the Swedish import for the Wahine. Couldn't help her out there. Side out Brigham Young. Serving for Brigham Young, Michelle Fellows, 6-foot senior from Las Vegas, Nevada. Chase bumps it to Anderson. Lundqvist.
What a great set that time from Carrie Anderson to Angela Lundqvist. Her first kill as a Rainbow Wahine. It's got to give her some confidence.
Anderson and Pia Puta will have a great competition tonight. An ace serve by Lundqvist.
Boy, Jim, that couldn't have been any better a serve. I think it hit both lines. BYU thinks it's out. They're looking back. It hit the sideline and the end line.
That one is wide. Just over the net, but wide. But the Wahines have their first point. We have the substitution for Brigham Young into the game. Marianne Clark, 6-foot junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. She went to Valley High School. She is expected to make a big contribution this year. Bad pass by Kenyatta Lovelace. That ball was long, Chris.
It was. That's the kind of thing that Dave Shoge would like to see. Better communication from his players, especially the players that are opposite the passer. They can see that ball going out.
Diaputa serving. Loveless to Anderson. Sarah Chase. That goes off Diaputa, and they try to save it. Fellows goes back, and they will be called for a lift. That will be side out for the Rainbow Wahine. 5-1 Brigham Young. Key Williams. Her return anxiously awaited by Wahine fans. Diaputa. Wahine now with the advantage. Chase puts it into the net. Side out Brigham Young.
Jim, Sarah Chase, normally the Rock of Gibraltar, already 3 bad passes, a missed spike right there. When she settles down, the Rainbows will be much better off.
Matu'u serving now for Brigham Young. Anderson. Atwood, that's returned. Anderson over Chase. Good save by Loveless. Brigham Young with the advantage. Olila. Blocked by Chase.
Other than Key Williams, Sarah Chase may be the best blocker on this team. She puts it down and then gives the glare through the net. She wanted something good to happen. She doesn't feel good about her start, Jim. I guarantee you that. She's a real competitor.
Stephanie Shota, 5'4" senior from Pearl City, into the game now serving for the Wahine. Diaputa goes cross court. Leo just with the touch, but there's Key Williams. Saved by Anderson, can't do it. The ball goes into the stands. Side out Brigham Young. The Rainbow Wahines have started badly. That is evident to everybody. But the windows of opportunity that they have been getting, they have not taken advantage of it. They have got to get their game together. Anderson pumps it into the net for Brigham Young. That was Leslie Anderson, the junior out of Piedmont, California. It is 5-1 Brigham Young. Sarah Chase now serving for the Wahine. Wahine have some catching up to do early. Matu'u. Diaputa. Back to Olila. And gets the ball down in front of Shota.
Net violation that time on Carrie Anderson, trying a little bit too hard to stuff block that ball. When you're a center that small, Jim, 5'8", all you want to do is get your hands up there in a position to get a piece of the ball. You don't have to stuff block it.
Shauna Scott serving now for Brigham Young. They lead 5-1. That pass again by Chase.
Jim, this really surprised me. Sarah normally is a very good passer. She's suffering from some first night jitters, I guess, or trying too hard. There, her footwork was poor. She took the ball off to the side instead of moving her feet to get in front of it like she did just then.
Kenyatta Loveless. Loveless right between the block of Diaputa and Fellow. Side out Wahine.
Well, this is what happens when you get a good pass. You get a good set, and you get a good terminating kill like that. It all starts with a pass.
Fellows, that's blocked. Lundquist there along with Kenyatta Loveless. Olila, she pumps it long. That's a point for the Rainbow Wahine. And now they trail 6-2. Serving Carrie Anderson, the team captain. Game 1 from Klum. Olila, and that went off of Lundquist. Side out Brigham Young.
Jim, there's an example of where I tell the center blocker not to block a ball where the hitter is off balance and scrambling. The hit blocker really just got in the way that time of the back row. It's easier to dig that ball.
Key Williams. Crystal Atwood comes back into the game. Kenyatta Loveless will now serve for the Rainbow Wahine. They trail by 4 in game 1. Diaputa short set. Fellows blocked by Lundquist. Carrie Anderson to Key Williams cross court. Atwood. That's off the block. BYU scrambling. They will succeed. Olila to Loveless. Wahine with the advantage. Key Williams with the touch. Olila. Diaputa. Great move by Diaputa.
No, Jim, she had amazing preseason ratings from coaches all over the country, from Andy Banikowski at UCLA to her own coach Elaine Michaelis. She may be the premier center in the country. We saw why just then. She not only has strong hands, she's smart. She put that ball over and caught the Rainbows off guard.
And very quick. Fellow serving for Brigham Young. Anderson will go to Lundquist. That's off the block. And that's side out Wahine. Still game 1. And the Wahine trail by 4. 6-2 here in game 1. Lundquist from Sweden played on the junior national team for Sweden. And that time the ball had too much air in it. Side out Brigham Young. Serving for Brigham Young is Charlene Johnson Fiaputa. Was the Western Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year last year. Carrie Anderson to Key Williams. And that was wide. That's a point for Brigham Young. 7-2 Cougars.
Williams still getting used to hitting on the right side. She's moved out there for injury reasons. Normally people have seen her hit out of the middle.
That went off the block. Nice hit that time by Sarah Chase. BYU got up with the block, but the ball off the fingertips. Side out for the Rainbow Wahine. Key Williams slaps it to Brigham Young. Matu'u Olila getting the ball across was Fellows, but that is long, and that's a point for the Wahine. 7-3. The Wahine close to within 4 of Brigham Young here in game number 1. Williams again serving. Battle at the net, and that's a lift. A lift by Fiaputa. That's a point. Key Williams continues to serve, and the Wahine have come back to within 3.
He's got a good, tough serve, Jim. Very tough floater right now. BYU's having all kinds of trouble with it.
Marianne Clark missed it that time, and the Wahines are back to within 2. Williams continues the string. BYU scrambling. The ball blocked, double block. Atwood there. And that ball hit long. That ball hit by Carol Rawson, who has come into the game. Long. It is 7-6. Williams can tie with a successful point, but it floats out. And BYU has the side out. Serving for BYU, Matu'u.
Oh, what a lift Key Williams gave the ball. It took him from 3 to 6 in the one serving rotation.
Lundquist bumps it to Carrie Anderson. Key Williams down the middle.
Oh, Jim, a new wrinkle for the bow is something we did not see at all last year. Of course, we didn't see Key play much at all, but we also did not see her hit out of the back row. So a new offensive wrinkle for Dave Shoji and company.
That went off of Key Williams. Carol Rawson. And a change for Brigham Young into the game comes Leslie Anderson. She was a starter. She comes back in to serve here. The Wahine all of a sudden starting to play well here in game 1. It is 7-6. Lundquist to Carrie Anderson. Short set. Sarah Chase hits it long. Sarah's having all kinds of problems. Just one of those things.
She really is struggling right now, Jim. But watch for her to settle down. Dave Shoji's not pushing any panic buttons, not going to the bench. He knows this group has been playing better than what they're showing right now.
Kenyatta Lovelace. Off the double block. Fellows was up along with Fiaputa. Side out for the Wahine. Sarah Chase will back up before she serves here. The Wahine down by as many as 5. Now they've come back to within 2. That was a bad pass by Leslie Anderson. Kenyatta Lovelace took advantage of it.
The pass is such a key part of the game, Jim, and BYU struggling right now. Sarah Chase with a great serve from down Kaimuki's side. Look at that. Floats all over the place. Very tough to pass. Another bad pass from BYU.
Matu'u long, and Chris, we are tied.
What a game of momentum. BYU jumps out big. Hawaii struggles back. Stick around, folks. You're in for a good night of volleyball.
Olila, that's long. And for the first time in game number 1, the Wahine have the lead at 9-8. Brigham Young has called a timeout.
Showing their true selves. We're in an even game. I think that's about how the teams are nationally ranked as well.
9-8, Wahine. Sarah Chase serving. Fellows hits it. Atwood returns it. Matu'u to Fiaputa. And that ball hit nicely by Marianne Clark. And that is side out for Brigham Young. Into the game now for Brigham Young, Shauna Scott. She was a starter. She returns now to serve. Wahine 9, Cougars 8. Game number 1. Anderson to Atwood. That's off the block. Nice save over there by Olila, and then a lift or a double hit by Matu'u.
Matu'u, who had a great game against the alumni the other night, and Elaine Michaelis expects big things from her this year.
Carrie Anderson serving, floats it across the net. Fiaputa, they will battle. Key Williams Good save by Brigham Young. Williams again blocks. Lundqvist waits for it. It falls to the floor. As Fellows tried to put it up and needed some help, she didn't get any. It is 10-8. Remember what you say, Chris, all the time. The team that gets to double figures usually wins. We will see. The Wahine have come from behind here in game number 1. Olila. That's off the net. Was it touched? It was. Side out. Brigham Young. That went off the tape. Somebody touched it on the Wahine side. And the Wahine now with their biggest lead here in game 1. They lead by 2. Virpi Olila serving for Brigham Young. She's from Finland. Carrie Anderson to Key Williams. That's blocked immediately. Ball is hit by Lundqvist. That will be returned. Fellows. Great dig by Sarah Chase. Now she's playing well. BYU scrambling. Matu'u gets it. Wahine now with the advantage. Carrie Anderson will go. Lundqvist. Key Williams. Great save by Anderson. And the volley continues, but Atwood knocks the ball on the other side of the aerial.
Oh, Jim, credit BYU that time for hanging in there. 2 great digs off Key Williams smashes, and they stayed alive and won the rally.
Olila now serving. 9 serving 10. Carrie Anderson, Key Williams. That goes off of Olila.
Oh, I like the way Lundqvist that time passed the ball. Very tough serve, and she passed it right to Carrie Anderson and got the set right back. And into the game now, Jenny Wilton. Coach Mike Wilton's daughter, a Hilo High product, former high school player of the year in Hawaii.
Coming back off of shoulder surgery last year. Fellows blocked at the net by Atwood, but it rolls off and out. So Brigham Young will serve, winning the side. Serving will be Michelle Fellows. Rawson Matu'u Tiaputa on that front line now for Brigham Young. Key Williams. That went off of Rawson's head, I believe.
Oh, my goodness. What an angle that time by Key Williams. Perfect set by Sarah Chase to set the whole thing up. Look at this, right up to the net. She gets a little 3 set. Look at the angle she cuts it inside the 10-foot line. That's awesome.
Rawson gets the side back for Brigham Young. It is still 10-9 Wahine. Into the game for Brigham Young, Marianne Clark. Clark coming in, replacing Shauna Scott. Serving Tiaputa. That time the set by Carrie Anderson went over Sarah Chase. Scoreboard may be wrong here. Matu gets it across, and Lundqvist cannot make the dig. Scoreboard had 11-9. Now they change it to what it should be. It is 11-10 BYU. Tiaputa serving. Wilton to Anderson. Chase double hands it over. They go cross court. Matu. That's blocked. Good save by Olila. Good dig that time. Good save by Atwood. Chase. That's blocked at the net. Blocked by Marianne Clark. 12-10. Brigham Young. Credit the Cougars. Game of momentum. The Cougars have seized the opportunity. Thing from Brigham Young. Chase gets it back on the short set by Carrie Anderson. Now the Wahine will try to take advantage, and serving Key Williams. Williams able to get the Rainbow Wahine back into this match by running off a string of successful points. Can she do it again?
Another tough serve there. Forced her to bump set the ball that time.
Advantage Rainbow Wahine. Chase. Not a great set for Chase. Chase was off balance. Anderson put it up. Chase still got the job done. That's a point. 11 serving 12. Key Williams again with that slap serve. BYU scrambling. Fellows gets it across. Williams will bump it to Anderson. Chase. Little touch. That'll be returned. Advantage BYU. Olila. Lundqvist. Anderson. Chase. Chase mistimed the leap again. Olila. Wilton keeps it alive. Lundqvist keeps it alive. Chase gets it across. Advantage now. BYU. They'll try to set it up. Tiaputa. Bad set, but it drops. That went over the head of Marianne Clark. And so she just kind of served it up over with one hand off balance, and it goes. Side out Brigham Young. Matu'u serving now for BYU. Atwood to Chase.
Jim, the Rainbows have had their chances on 3 balls. That last rally couldn't convert. Chase keeps that ball in play with a looping Rainbow shot to the corner. They now have a chance to get back in this game. At 11-12 was Shota, a great defensive specialist from Pearl City, in to spark them.
Kenyatta Lovelace also back into the game. She goes into that front row, along with Carrie Anderson, Chase, and Lovelace. Good save by Shota. Very good save. Key Williams gets it across. Tia Puta, short set. Good save by Key Williams. They battle again. 2 hits. And that is side out. Brigham Young. 2 hits called on the Wahine. Boy, these 2 teams, they can get it going right at the net. They love to play patty cake up there.
Very close call that time. Carrie Anderson just mishandling that set.
Lawson serving for BYU. Chase. Good save by Tia Puta. She's able to get it up, but Matu'u could not get there. Side out Wahine.
Well, here we see the Rainbows not getting a clean lick at the ball, but they at least got it down in an area where BYU is not playing great defense. They get the side out, still down 1.
Sarah Chase serving now for the Wahine. 11 serving into the net. In between games, Sarah Chase may go outside and just have a primordial scream. Leanne Clark serving. Anderson hitting out of Lovelace. Triple block. Lovelace got it over the block by Fellows, Tia Puta, and Olila.
And what a set by Carrie Anderson. Not a good pass that time from Anderson. Sets it from about the 20-foot line, puts it up perfectly, and Lovelace buries it.
Carrie Anderson serving now. Down the middle, Matu'u. Great dig by Chase, I should say. And Kenyatta Lovelace. That was not touched, and that is long. Tried the angle. Side out Brigham Young, coming to the crucial moments now here in game number 1. 12 for Brigham Young, 11 for Hawaii. Serving Olila. That's long. Side out Wahine. Another opportunity.
Big break for the Bows, Jim. Dave showed he's got 2 subs coming in here, both Wilton and Atwood. Fresh legs. This is something he did not have last year, Joe, if you recall. Rainbow spent a lot of
a point, and we are tied at 12.
Dave Shoji was telling his hitters in practice the other day, if you're outside, you're not sure about your set, hit for high hands. That's exactly what Wilton got that time. She got a fingertip.
Rawson.
Ooh, that silences the crowd. Rawson at 6'2", a senior middle blocker. That was down.
Side out Brigham Young. We are tied at 12 in game number 1. Opening night of the season here at Clum, and the sauna is turned up high. Carrie Anderson goes cross court. Jenny Wilton from the 10-foot line. Jenny is long. That's a point for Brigham Young. These points are crucial now. 13-12 Cougars. Timeout Hawaii. So we have teeter-tottered back and forth in this game. And it is
the game, Hawaii hitting 234 to BYU's 188, but the score the other way around. BYU 13, Hawaii 12.
Wilton whistle blows. Fellows objected.
Now what happened there, Jim, was that Fellows actually touched the ball that Carrie Anderson set. The blockers cannot interfere with the setter who's trying to set the ball as long as the whole ball is on the center side of the net. We saw the end of the play there.
Sarah Chase serving just over the tape of the net. And they patty cake at the net. Good save by Fellows. Rawson gets it across. Carrie Anderson. Lundquist, that'll be returned.
Bows have to convert here, Jim. Chance to get the 13th point. They should convert on a free ball play like that.
Wilton went over the block at the net. The ball had to spin on it, and it spun to the wood. And we are tied at 13. Sarah Chase serving.
It wasn't a pretty 13th point, but it's the 13th point nevertheless.
Tia Puta, back set. Clark gets it over. Carrie Anderson will go to Wilton again. Triple block. Wilton on the save. Shota. Wilton again. Advantage now. Brigham Young for the side out. Olila. One-handed save by Shota. Down the middle. Chase. Great save by Matu'u, but she can't get up. Matu'u saved it. Didn't have anything on it. And she could not react as Thea Puta tried to get it back to her. When we come back, as BYU has called the timeout, in a magnificently exciting game, the Rainbow Wahinis will be serving the Aloha Ball. Serving for game one. Tia Puta, short set. Fellows goes to the empty corner. Side out Brigham Young, not over yet. A player from each team will be honored at the end of tonight's match for going beyond the call. GTE Hawaiian Tel will contribute to the University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund. Clark serving. Anderson. Good touch by Lundqvist. Lundqvist almost gangly that time as she went after the ball. She had just enough touch on it to let it soar over the top of the net and then drive itself lovingly to the floor untouched. Carrie Anderson now serving for the match. Rather for the game, excuse me, game one. BYU with the advantage. Olila down the middle. Fellows, the block is up. Side out Brigham Young. It remains 14 for the Wahine, 13 for Brigham Young.
You can almost go to the bank on it when the going gets tough. Thea Puta will set Fellows, and as she did just then.
Chase bumps it to Carrie Anderson. Cross court, Kay Williams.
Oh my! From about the 8 or 9 foot line, Jim. She's normally a middle hitter. She's used to the quick sets. Anderson gave her a high launch rocket ball, and she just buried it.
Wilton serving. Matu'u. Tia Puta back to Matu'u. A touch. The advantage now. The Wahine. Key. Little touch. Good save by Matu'u. She gets it back from Tia Puta and gets it off the block by Lundqvist. Side out BYU. Serving is Fellows. 13. Serving 14. What a match. What a game. Chase, bad pass.
Net violation.
Net violation, you're right. Rawson and Tia Puta tangled in the cords that time.
Dave Shoji has substituted so much in this match. He's now using former redshirt Jocelyn Robbins out of IAEA. She's in the game to finish it here. Who would have thought she'd be playing such a key role?
Matu'u got it into the block. Chase and also Williams. But the ball hit the floor. Side out. Brigham Young still 13 serving 14. Tia Puta serving. Wilton, Carrie Anderson, Chase. That'll be returned by Tia Puta. Goes cross court. Matu'u, little touch. Good save there. And the hit by Robbins. That'll be returned. And Matu'u into the block and out. That is a point for Brigham Young. We are tied at 14 after win by 2.
Jocelyn did a good job that time of digging that ball, kept the third hit in play. Dave Shoji has a lot of confidence in her.
Wilton, bad pass. Chase gets it across. BYU with the advantage. Whistle blows. Somebody went underneath.
Sarah Chase that time hit a wet spot on the floor, slipped and went under the net in the middle of that rally. Unfortunate break for the Bows. They give up the 15th point to BYU.
BYU now serving the Aloha Ball for the first game. Tia Puta, Wilton, Wahine scrambling. Robbins gets it across. Matu'u off the block. Great save. Tia Puta, they call a lift.
Good call by referee John Zabriskie that time on the coverage of the block. That ball just stuck in BYU arms. Elaine Michaelis knows it was a good call. Although she would love to have had that 16th point.
Key Williams serving, 14 serving 15. They battle at the net, little patty cake going on. Robbins to carry, to take.
Tell you, Jim, Carrie Anderson is setting as well as I've ever seen her set. She's really making smart sets and good setting location. She's got them in a deuce game right now after a horrible start. Nobody passed the ball to her.
15-15 game one. Matu'u double hands it, and it is in. Boy, what a shot by Matu'u. Saw the deep corner and went for it. Ball just settled in front of the red line. Side out Brigham Young.
That's a savvy play. She did not have a good swing, so she just put it over with two hands and got lucky.
Chase off the block. That's over on the Wahine side. Carrie Anderson to chase and out. Off the block and out.
Off the block. Sarah Chase, after a shaky start, now has 10 kills. She averaged about 4 last year. She's got 10 already here in game number 1.
Kenyatta Lovelace will come into the game, replacing Jenny Wilton in the front line for the Wahine. Lovelace, Chase, and Carrie Anderson now in the front line. Serving is Robin. Jocelyn Robin. Tia Puta goes cross court. Now down the middle, Matu'u gets that off of Robin. Side out, Brigham Young tied at 15 in the first game. Rawson serving for Brigham Young. Long. Side out, Wahine.
Late call by the Bulls that time, Jim. As soon as that ball was hit, the back row people should have been yelling the ball was out. That wasn't even close. Better communication the back row needed for the Bulls to call those out serves.
Sarah Chase serving now for the Wahine. Just over the tape, good serve. Fellows gets it to Tia Puta. Olila, that's blocked at the net. Blocked by Lundquist. Kenyatta Lovelace to Anderson. They go back to Kenyatta.
What a great substitution by Dave Shoji. Jenny Wilton gave him some great minutes in the middle of that game to keep the Bulls close. But when he needed a terminator here for the 16th and 17th points, he goes to the fresh legs of Kenyatta Lovelace.
Chase serving for the game. Olila. Advantage, Rainbow Wahine. Carrie Anderson to Lundquist.
BYU had a poor pass. All they do is lob the ball over the net. We have a dig in the back row by Sarah Chase. Perfect pass to the net. One set from Anderson to Lundquist. She buries it. Hawaii wins game number 1. BYU had their chances though, Jim. They were serving for game point as well, but Hawaii just had too much in the end, too many fresh legs. And the statistics from game number 1, Hawaii, you see, with a better hitting percentage, 333, a full 100 points higher than BYU. They really hit the ball out less, and they kept the ball in play a little bit more than BYU. You see the rest of the statistics fairly close, although each team took their turns passing poorly and giving the other team opportunities.
What a game 1, though. Just when you analyze game 1, the way it went, I mean, it was a real teeter-totter affair. All of a sudden, BYU had things their way. They were hitting, they were digging, and the Rainbow Wahines were reeling. The Wahines come back, they tie it at 8, they go ahead, they have a chance to win it. BYU holds them off. BYU has a chance to win it. The Wahine holds them off, and finally, you saw the final point, 17-15 in game number 1. Boy, credit both teams with the way they play with such high emotion, such high drama, and you get the impression the way these two teams are balanced, we may only be beginning here. This is game number 2. And that will be a lift. Lift call on Carrie Anderson. I thought I saw a net violation on Tia Puta.
You're right. You know what happened, though? John Zabriskie, the referee right now, is telling Carrie Anderson, hey, Carrie, you lifted the ball before the BYU player struck the net. So that's what he's explaining to her right now. We'll see if the replay shows. Here's the lift right there. That's a lift on Carrie, and there is the net violation right afterwards.
Good call.
Great camera work, guys.
1-0 BYU, game number 2. Kenyatta Lovelace, great dig that time by Scott. And that is off the block. It's 2-0 Brigham Young.
That's a little slide set we were talking about earlier from Tia Puta to Fellows. Jim, you know, the greatest players in the country average about 6 kills a game, the top 10. For the game number 1, Sarah Chase for Hawaii, number 10, got 10 kills. Twice the normal national average. And Tumua Matu'u also got 10 kills. So we're seeing great hitting performances out of one young lady on each team.
Good block that time by Olila. 3-0 Brigham Young, game 2. Game 2 starting the same way as game 1. Atwood, cross court and in, right in front of Matu'u. Side out Rainbow Wahine. Serving for the Rainbows will be Angelica Lundquist from Sweden. Bad pass, good attempt by Fiaputa. Ball goes out. And a point for the Rainbow Wahine. 3 for Brigham Young, 1 for Hawaii here in game 2. You just joined us. Great first game, 17-15 Hawaii. Fellows blocked. Olila blocked by Key Williams. Boy, Key Williams just closed everything off. She sky domed that one.
This may be Hawaii's best blocking rotation here. Key Williams right there at 6 feet on the outside, and Sarah Chase at 6 feet. That's a very good block.
Side out Brigham Young. And we have a net violation on the Wahine. Serving is Virpi Olila. She's from Finland. Key Williams. Is it in? Yes, it is.
She picks up her 8th kill of the night. Elaine Michaelis says, how do we stop her? She's blocking us. She's killing it.
She does make a difference, Chris. She really does to this team. Fellows, good block at the net that time by Chase. BYU will try it again. As that slide set.
That's right. That's where the hitter comes right at the center, sort of slides right behind them. It's a trademark of BYU's offensive philosophy. It's a very difficult set to block. And sometimes it's even harder one to hit. You've got to be able to take off of one leg and have a pretty good vertical leap that way. You know, Jim, I was curious about, speaking of vertical leaps, that first game was so long and it's so hot in here. You've got to wonder which team is going to tire first.
Shauna Scott credited with that point the last time. Fellows serving. Chase to Anderson. Back set. Atwood off the block. That'll be returned. Fiaputa to Matu'u. Atwood sets up Anderson. They go to the short set to Chase. And right there is Scott. Matu'u blocked by Chase. Matu'u tries it again. Off the fingertips of Chase and Anderson. That's a point for Brigham Young. They lead 4-2.
Smart hit that time by Matu'u. She'd been going cross court 2 times in a row. The third time pulled the string, goes down the line, fooled the bows.
Fellows serving. The bows with a little slide of their own that time. Chase was laughing as she watched the BYU struggle with that. Maybe she thought, well, I really didn't hit it to get that effect.
She's always laughing, Jim. She's in a constant state of laughter.
Atwood with an outstanding dig. Lovelace gets it across. Fiaputu. Lawson, another great save by Atwood. Lovelace.
The young lady from New Mexico they call Yada goes up high, hits down the line, uses that outside blocker's right hand, gets the kill.
3 serving 4, game number 2. Matu'u. That is in. No, that's out. That's wrong. Excuse me. Zabriskie waited. He had the linesman look again, and finally he said, no, that's long. It was not touched, and we are tied at 4 in game number 2. Atwood serving. Matu'u off the block that time. Side out Brigham Young. Serving for Brigham Young will be Fiaputa. Charlene Johnson Fiaputa from Las Vegas. As we mentioned, she was the Freshman of the Year in the WAC. She's an All-America candidate. Serving for Brigham Young. Into the net, hit the tape. Side out, Wahine.
She's also a new mom, just had a baby last spring. Adding a new dimension to the maturity to the Cougar squad.
Chase serving, and that is in, an ace. Fellows, let it go.
This is one of the great advantages of being able to step back and serve from far back. There she has the bow and arrow arm swing, lobs it up high in the air, and then the bottom just drops out right when it got to the back line. Excellent float serve. Now she's stepping back even further as she gains more confidence and range in her serve. This is a very difficult ball to pass.
5 serving 4 here in game number 2. Wahine's winning the first game. Score of 17-15. Fellows gets it across. Lundquist from Anderson. You're right about Anderson. She is ubiquitous. I mean, she is on the right side, she's on the left side, she's in the middle, and she has that very soft set.
She really does. When I saw her play in practice last week, she was not all that impressive, but everything I've seen tonight has been nothing short of incredible. Her location, she's hustling to the ball, She's back setting well. She's finding her middle hitters. I'm really impressed with Carrie's play tonight. You know, she lost some weight in the offseason. I think it's made her a little quicker, a little more confident. In fact, all the bows look leaner and meaner this year. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked into the gym and saw them. So I think their off-season dedication is really paying off.
4 serving 6. Matu'u serving. And Chase lets it go, and she decides right. It's long, side out for Hawaii. Serving is Carrie Anderson. Anderson, 5'8" junior from Columbia Heights, Minnesota. Good serve. That's a point. Another 8. Went off of Matu'u. 7-4, Hawaii.
Carrie takes a little bit different type of floater. She steps up to the line and serves a short floater. Sarah's floater is from way back in the gym, is up in the air a long time, moves on. Carrie's just goes over the net and dives. That time she served a little bit deeper. Still a tough serve to pass.
Rawson, good save again by Atwood. Kenyatta Lovelace, blocked. Saved by Lundqvist, down the middle. Atwood, that'll be returned. Olila, that's long. 8-4.
They've gone up and taken a good swing at it, even though she's not a front row hitter. She's taken off from behind that 10-foot line and being very effective.
9-4, Wahine. Rawson blocked by Lundqvist. Lovelace keeps it alive. They go back to Lundqvist. Matu'u to Fiaputa. Olila, that's wide. That's a point for the Wahine. And it is 10-4. Again, BYU with a boomlet in the beginning. And the Wahine has come back, and they now lead by 6. Fellows. Off of Fellows. She appeared not to really see the ball that time. It showed up as a surprise to her down the line. Olila comes out. Into the game, Gail Oborn, 5'11" freshman from Diamond Bar, California.
They go to her right away. Typical Dave Shoji strategy there. Serve the sub, and it worked. They get another point.
Kenyatta Lovelace up with Lundqvist. 12-4. Fiaputa goes cross-court. Oborn over the net. Wahine now with the advantage. Carrie Anderson to Lundqvist. That may be a real big twosome this year. Anderson to Lundqvist.
You know, Lundqvist at 6'2", the Swedish player of the year in the junior national team last year. Easy to set somebody that big, making Carrie look good too.
Chase with the save. Kenyatta Lovelace gets it across. Oborn off the tape. Great save again by Atwood. What a game she's played here. Lovelace, that'll be returned. Matu'u in the back row. Oborn hits it. Long.
Good rally that time, Jim. Good fundamentals on both teams. Good defense. Those just outsteadying BYU that time, and unfortunate hitting error by BYU. That's their 17th one. They're only hitting 151 right now. Not a good percentage.
Aloha ball in game number 2. Bows leading 14-4. That time Oborn gets it in front of Key Williams. Side out, Brigham Young. Into the game for Brigham Young. Leslie Anderson, number 9. Leslie Anderson will serve to the Wahine. Wahine cannot relax against this BYU team. They can have some runs of their own. Leslie Anderson serves. There is Carrie Anderson. Lundqvist. She knocked over Matu'u.
Oh my, the home crowd loves it. Whenever the Bows deliver a shot like that knocks down an opponent, it makes the hometown crowd happy.
Kenyatta Lovelace serving for the Wahine. Fiaputa. Carrie Anderson to Key Williams. What a dig by Shara Chase. Atwood. That is in. And that is it. That's the match sketch. Sponsored by Kilgo. Underway in game number 3. Miscue by BYU. Fiaputa. 1-0. Rainbow Wahine. That's the first time that the Wahine have scored the first point in a game. Carrie Anderson just nicking the tape on the serve. And there will be side out Brigham Young.
You know, Jim, just to add something to that game sketch, Hawaii scored 13 straight points. They were down 2-4 in game number 2 and came back to win 15-4. That's quite an accomplishment to get 13 straight points against a good team like BYU.
Anderson Lundqvist again. Side out, Kenyatta Lovelace. Crowd loves the way that Lovelace, when she spikes, puts her whole body into it. Matu'u, miss hit. Point for the White.